Hi, welcome to Needing a Meeting. My name is Carol. I'll be your host today. And hello, Ben Turner, La Chameleon, Christy Colwell. Had Werewolves of London in my head all day. Funny thing, I have Nights on Broadway in my head currently. Ooh. Yeah, that's a great song. I hate when they did that mashup thing with it, some country group. I don't even remember who it was. It doesn't matter because it wasn't. It's like that. So that song would come on when they did the mashup of it, and I'd be all like, "Cool, they're playing Werewolves of London." No, they weren't. They were, yeah. Never mind. Yes, I can. I can drop the link. All righty, here we go. There it is. How's everybody doing today? Good to see everybody. So good to see ya. Yay. Come on. There it is. There's the link. Glad to see you, Christy Colwell. Thanks, Christy. Hope to be around for at least some of the meeting today, like Chameleon says. It isn't often I am awake around live these days. Well, I hope you get to too. Looks like it's freezing up a little wee bit, Christy. Just a hair. Are you on your computer or your phone today?
No, my phone. I'm on my phone.
Okay. Yeah, I can see you. I can hear you. It's a little choppy. Yeah, it's a little choppy, but I can mostly hear you.
I think it's weather. The weather's nasty like this. It's not good.
Hi. Hey, Misha. Wonderful. Yeah, you've just frozen again, sweetie. Though I had to follow you, though you did not want me to. I'll get another earworm in your head going there. All right. Well, in the meantime, while she's getting that all figured out, we haven't read from the Smart Handbook in a little while. I can do a little bit of reading from that. Is the yes. Nights on Broadway. All right. Regaining your health is where we're at in chapter 6, starting with nutrition. After you stop an addictive behavior, you may find that your appetite returns. Let's get Christy in here. There she is.
Is this better?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah. When it's cold or windy, it really messes with my internet.
Hi, Rolling Stone.
And it's cold and windy today.
Oh, okay. That's why I was wondering if that's what that was, Misha. Hello, Rolling Stone.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Nick. Hi. Yay. Love seeing all of you guys.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't mean to interrupt what you were reading.
Oh, it's okay. Healthy eating and maintaining a balanced diet are essential to good living. Going out for an occasional meal with friends or family can be fun. Making a shopping list, going to the grocery store, preparing the food, cooking your meals, and cleaning up can be included in your plan for the day. This can help keep you occupied or fill any spare time you may have. Even though a person with an addictive behavior may think they are eating normally regularly, this is generally not the case. Vitamin deficiencies are common, especially with heavy alcohol abuse, because water-soluble vitamins like B vitamins and thiamine and folic acid and vitamin C are washed away frequently because your body doesn't store these nutrients. It's a good idea to eat meals at regular times to help restore your health. You may consider adding vitamin B and C supplements to your diet. Your doctor may recommend a specific vitamin supplements. When I was in rehab, they were serving us 3 meals a day, but it was the starchiest, probably the least nutrient, like sparse, the most nutrient sparse, least nutrient dense foods possible, and
Yeah.
so that probably had a lot to do with how long I felt like my body was going to be like, am I going to be like this forever? Am I going to feel like this forever? Because I really
Yeah.
did do some damage.
Well, and it's hard to eat healthy. And when you eat a carb heavy diet like that, it turns into sugar and then you
Yeah,
get that sugar crash.
yeah,
And so it really is a whole different, and I think just eating healthy in general is good for your mental health.
yeah,
Um, because when you eat better, you feel better, you kind of look at the world differently. And I would say add vitamin D into there, especially these times of months.
yeah,
Go get some vitamin D caplets. I know when I lived in Seattle, they said that and I didn't know this, but Washington State has one of the highest rates of MS and cerebral palsy in the nation because it is so deficient in sunlight that literally everyone out there is taking these huge like vitamin D caplets. So add that to your like take a multivitamin that's got that, or of course always check with your doctor first. I'm not a medical professional, but that helps with
I'm
depression.
probably overdoing it, but I'm taking about is it 2000 IU is kind of the recommended dose for being sick.
Usually,
Oh,
yeah.
so I probably I take between 4 and 6,000 IU of vitamin D3 every day.
But the thing is, whatever it doesn't use, your body processes out, and just make sure you're drinking plenty of water to help your kidneys flush that out. But other
Okay.
than that, it just goes on through.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but I have a whole slew of vitamins that I'm taking.
I do too. I used
Um,
to not take anything, but
well, and I would start taking them, and then I'd get to where I'd have one night where I was like, I don't feel like swallowing all those horse pills.
mhm.
And but I have a multivitamin in a gummy. It's that vegan based my kind stuff.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And so I take that, and I take my vitamin D in gummy form,
Mhm.
and a B complex in gummy form, and the rest of it take it with vitamin K. I will do that. I will do that, CK.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. And then everything else I take in either gel cap or uh,
Mhm.
pill form, caplet, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I take most of my stuff. I do something, this little section of hair. Um, it's just at that weird length. We all know what that length is like, and that's just where it's at right now. Ugh. I take a lot of mine in gummy form or capsules.
Yeah.
That's how I take mine.
Well, do we get to announce anything special today?
I mean, we can if we want to. I think it's kind of exciting getting
I am
started.
so excited. I've been telling you to do this for a while, and I'm so happy. Christy, y'all, is starting her own channel. Tell us a little bit about it. I'm so
So,
excited.
the name of the channel is going to be Conversations with Christy. And of course, I'm going to continue over here on Needing and Meeting because it's where my heart's at. But I'm going to do, the plan is a little bit of true crime because who doesn't like a little bit of that? And I really want to interview people. Um, kind of ordinary people with extraordinary lives, right? So not just solely around one topic. Like one person, well, Tommy's already said he would come onto the channel, so of course there's that interview. And the interview I want to do with him though is I want to do such a different video than anything he's ever talked about. So I'm gonna have to get with
All
him
right.
and see if he is
Okay.
like up for it.
Uh-huh.
Um, but one person that I'm thinking of was he is a retired chief master sergeant of the Air Force. He was in for 27 years.
Wow.
And
My dad was
and
a master sergeant in the Air Force.
yeah, so he's got some amazing insight. So I'm really interested about talking to him. There's a couple other people that I would love to talk to and just kind of have this kind of eclectic thing and then talk about current events as they come up. Definitely do some guided meditation. So it's going to kind of be like a well-rounded, like it's not going to be one thing or another necessarily. I want to kind of be able to talk to people and be like, oh hey, here's this person. One person that I would like to talk to is someone that I worked with here in town, and she started off as a receptionist at the age of 18, and she has now worked herself up to, I can't remember if she's COO or CEO of the company. And she is really smart. And so just kind of all of these different things bring a little bit of everything in. So yeah.
Right on.
So that's what I'm looking for. And I can see the comments or like I'm on my phone, so I can't see the comments. I've got to get my computer fixed, and I've got this amazing microphone, but I gotta get like a boom arm for it, and then I gotta kind of figure out like make this a little more studio friendly. But kind of so that the acoustics are good and get the lighting set up. But
Let me
yeah,
ask you this: Is your computer a Mac or a PC?
it's an HP. It's a PC.
Okay,
Yeah.
my husband, even though you're all the way in Kentucky, my husband may be able to help you kind of clear up some of the stuff that might be going on there with your computer. That way, you
Yeah.
can use your microphone and all that kind of stuff and see the comment.
Yeah.
Hello,
Yeah.
hi,
And
Plant.
I've got to figure out too what to do about my camera for my on my computer because it's such a bad camera. The camera on my phone is better, and I know the reason why. The reason why is because phone cameras have all of the lenses and um automatic adjust everything built into the camera on the phone, and the laptop doesn't. But when I bought this laptop, I didn't buy it to really do this type of a thing. So I think maybe I just have a laptop that's not compatible with what I'm trying to do, and I might need to get a whole new one. So
Okay. Well, you know
yeah,
what? I I use a Chromebook, and it has a. I mean, if you can see the camera, it's a
yeah,
decent camera,
it is. Yeah, yeah,
and it seems to be like, you know, doesn't seem to have a heavy duty pulling on a bunch of stuff processor.
right.
Mine is the Asus. Is that how you say it?
Oh, uh-huh.
Acer. Acer.
Acer.
I think that's how you
Okay.
say it. And it was a couple $100.
There we go. Well, that's cheaper than, I mean, I've got a nice one, but when I got it, I was thinking of doing like an online business. So I kind of, got it. And then when I was looking at the camera, I'm like, oh, this is terrible. And then it just drives me nuts because like the picture is not clear and the color's not right. And I'm always messing with it.
Ben says quite a few people use phones like that. You might be able to do a fee. Somehow or another, Aaron does something where he can use his computer for
Hmm.
what he's doing, but film with his camera. There's some kind of sync that he has
Okay.
going on between the camera and the cell phone. Now that I
Okay.
don't understand, but
No,
I,
but I might.
I bet you somebody does.
Well, and I mean, I can get a better cell phone because that's what I was normally doing was I was on here or I was actually on my laptop and then like, doing the chat on my phone, but I like this better. So then when my computer was not being ridiculous, I could see the chat on my computer and do everything else. So
Yeah.
I might need to just, kind of figure out a couple different things,
Yeah.
but I'm excited. I think
I
it will
am
be good.
too. I'm very
I
excited.
I love to research and kind of look into stuff and dig around and kind of offer my opinion on things. I have a lot to say.
Yeah. That's a
I
good
don't
thing.
know if anybody really wants to hear it, but I got a lot to
Look, hey, look who's here, y'all. Hi, Steve.
say.
Hi.
How are
Did you
you?
hear?
Oh, feel like hammered salami.
Oh,
No, that's
Yeah,
okay.
what's happening?
oh, I had 3 appointments at Henry Ford Hospital in Detroit, which is like an hour and 20 minutes away from where I am.
Right?
And got a follow up on my knee operation. They did some routine heart stuff, and then they looked at my infection and went, "Oh, we're gonna probably keep you." And I'm like, you know what? It's not that bad. And can you please, thanks, Mitch. Can you please just cut me loose? I promise, if it gets any worse, I'll let you know. They're like, all right.
Did
What?
you did
Yeah.
you go out against medical advice? Did they put you
No, no,
down?
no, 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 no,
Okay,
no,
okay.
no. So they reluctantly let me go today.
But
Oh,
they didn't write in your chart that it was AMA,
No,
against medical advice. Okay,
no,
because
no,
you don't want that. That
yeah.
would really
no.
bad.
I've never done that. I've never
Okay,
ever done that.
Right on.
good, good. Well, I'm sorry
Well,
you're feeling so.
I'm glad you're able to be home and in your chair and
Yeah.
I wow. I'm sorry I didn't know that you had been going through that.
This was more what Steve would call preventative maintenance.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, but still.
Yeah,
Yeah.
got to stay ahead of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did they have anything to say about how your knee's healing and all that?
They loved it. They were the ortho guy. He was like, "You're." Even this morning at like 4 in the morning when we had to get up, I got my feet tangled up in a cord and smashed it on the side of my mattress, and I was walking with a more so than normal. Yes, ma'am. Um, and I had a little trouble walking around, and it tightened up on me a little bit. But even at that, they said I was doing a lot better than people in 3 or 4 months post surgery. So
Oh, nice.
Okay. That's amazing. That's so good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good, good, good.
you're only as old as you feel.
Huh. Well, I don't know if I like that one
No,
Yeah. Someday.
because I feel pretty old sometimes.
I don't.
Um,
I don't. I don't
Christmas
see
news?
myself as an old man yet, though. I
Okay.
still might. Well, because I was a fat guy for a long time, and then when I got skinny, I thought, okay, I'm going to see myself as a skinny guy for a while. I'm not ready to switch to old man just yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, did you hear Christie's news?
No, I did not.
She is
So
starting her own channel.
Oh, awesome!
Yes, it
yeah,
is.
I'm gonna
And
call it Conversations with Christy. So
and okay, and beside the obvious, what are we going to be doing besides conversations?
well, it'll be a little bit of true crime, just a few interesting cases here and there, and then interviewing people that like ordinary people with extraordinary lives. So I've got some people in mind that I want to interview for that, and then guided meditations and breathing exercises and talking about current events, just kind of a fun way to get together and kind of talk about things. But it will be I think what I'm going to do is maybe, well, of course this will be live, but I haven't decided if I want to do my interviews live or if I want to record my interviews and then go back and edit them. I haven't kind of decided that. I think I want to keep it, from what I heard, what different people have told me, if you keep something around an hour, YouTube pushes it better than if you go really long. YouTube doesn't always push
I've heard
that
that as well.
really well. I don't know if that's true or not. And so I'm going to kind of just have to play around with it, but I've been thinking about it for a little while and just kind of decided, I mean, I was really nervous about some things. I didn't know if would I like being on camera? Would anybody listen to what I have to say? I was really afraid of trolls. Like if somebody was mean to me, how would I handle that? And
Well, hire you a couple of goons, and you talk to the camera just fine
Yeah.
right now. So I mean, it can't be too much different.
oh, and I thought, this way I could kind of research stuff. So I mean, I would still have this that would be like just free flow and organic and wonderful, but I do really good when I research things and I make notes and I know kind of what I want to talk about. And Tommy is already graciously, he's like, you can interview me anytime. And I'm already like thinking of questions because I want my interviews to be different than anybody else's. Like, I don't want to talk about just the same things. I want to get into different stuff and kind of just give a different spin on things. And I can't see what anybody's here. I wonder
Like
if I
Misha's saying, have wrench will travel. Hee hee.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I
Well, I'm really excited for you.
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I want to I want it to be really, to like look really good. And I have a friend who is a graphic designer, like a graphic web designer. So I know she would help me come up with a logo and help me, with that kind of thing. And I've already got like, my little studio. So I just have to kind of work out the lighting and get my laptop. But then I thought if I pre-recorded everything and edited it, then I could upload it and then it could be playing while I'm doing something else, and maybe just do like my own content. I really kind of like how Lady Colin Campbell does hers. She's like Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday for new content. So I kind of like that, where so you're not killing yourself trying to like write out something every day, but you can take a little bit more time to get it right. But with me being on here, people would still be seeing me every day.
Yeah.
So I kind
And I can see you going like this and crumpling balls of paper up and throwing them over your shoulders.
oh, it is. Well, and I'm already kind of getting a little bit of an idea of like what doing the research and putting together a show would be, because I offered to the Twin Flame cult. I actually had watched that before, but I offered to rewatch it and put together a bunch of notes and kind of go over some stuff with someone who was thinking about doing that on their channel. And so it'll give me a chance to see how my notes like relate and how the content is taken by the people watching, so
Yeah.
I'm excited. But yeah, I mean, I got a big burly husband, and I've got a friend who's an ex-convict, and I got you guys. So I'll just be like, look, man, if you come for me, what's that thing from Tombstone? You tell him hell, or I'm coming and hell's coming with me. Like, okay,
Yeah, that's right.
go ahead.
Right.
And that's just kind of how I had to kind of look at it, is,
You
I mean,
know,
Yeah.
everybody on any kind of platform like this is going to have to deal with the troll from time to time. But
Yeah.
that's what block is for. We love block.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And I am like not patient about it either. I'd be like, you're out. You're out of here.
Yeah.
But it really is kind of like maybe some book reviews or something, just like some very me type stuff, maybe some funny shorts of Mikey being ridiculous like he is right now. What are you doing?
Oh, well, here's what I'm doing. I'm going jogging in the mass murder capital of the world today.
Right. Alone.
Yeah.
Told you guys that story, right?
Yes.
Did I tell you about running through Washington State by myself?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So now I got Mikey with me. You usually protect a mama, wouldn't you? Huh? Yeah. Yeah, you would. What do you go lay down. Go on. Go on. Anyway. Well, and does Misha have something exciting to say too? I think she might have some exciting news. Does she? Do you?
Do you?
Do you?
Do you? Do you?
Since this is exciting news Monday.
More stories like that unless they're from the past.
I'm not following a lot of this. I have some missing pieces.
Let's see. Can I see anything?
Rolling Stone put out his Mr. T.
Yes. Pity the poor troll.
I pity the troll who invades this.
Yes, yes. No
Ben
more
Turner.
stories like that.
Welcome. I'm so glad to see you here.
I just thought I'd stop in just to say hi.
Yay.
So this is the infamous Ben Turner.
Infamous.
So glad to see you.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
And
That's what I'm talking about, y'all. Just
Love
pop
it.
in here. Yes.
Steve Molesky, Ben. Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you, sir.
Glad that you are here. And yes, Misha, I have been blocked by accidentally a lot and by Chase the Key nonetheless. So
I got Russ Hampton one time for like 2 weeks.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
if I ever can't get through, I'm just gonna send out a text and be like, Johnny? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Hey, I could be a moderator for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. See, I was thinking about that, and like, and I was thinking, I liked how on the boat, was it last night? Tommy had this stuff like coming in, like he would mention something, and like here would come the picture, here would come the link. Now I don't know that I'm savvy enough to do that, but if I could figure out, or somebody wanted to help me with that, like editing, that would be, I have a really good feeling about it. I really do. Really excited.
And that's really all you need is some drive and some perseverance and some really good people around you to help you with what you don't know how to do.
Yeah.
Right. And a turkey leg and stupid stories, and I'm good to go.
Can't forget the turkey legs.
Oh.
Tell you, I'm on.
For those of you who are new, we've talked about getting after people that are that deserve to be got after with a turkey leg. That's all that is.
Not a real good grip if you're swinging for the fences, but if you're swinging for a single, you might be able to make contact. Yeah.
So Ben, what are you doing today?
What am I? Well, I'm working a little bit and just hanging out.
Right on.
I thought I'd come. I had to bug you people because
Yeah.
you need it. I mean,
We do need it.
yeah.
We need
If
it.
you don't deserve it, who does? I mean,
There you go. That's the truth.
Absolutely.
I am always amazed at Christy's house. It looks like there's snow outside, and it looks nice and
It
warm.
really
and
does. It's interesting. It does. It looks like there's snow, and it's a beautiful winter scene in
And
Kentucky.
she's drinking out of this huge coffee cup, and then she drinks out of a soda. I don't get what that's about.
Yeah, it's a mug that says 55-gallon drum on it.
It's canned water. So I'm
Oh.
always drinking flavored canned water, seltzer water, but I love a big mug. Like if I can't get both of my hands around it and it doesn't hide my face, it is not the mug for me. Like I'm the one going through TJ Maxx like, okay. Everybody else has these tiny little mugs and I'm like, oh, well, that's cute. And right now, it looks like my windows are this way because it is cold outside and I have my fireplace going. And so it kind of, these are all single pane windows. So
Ooh.
it gets ridiculously cold in here. So I have to kind of crank up the fireplace. But, and then we hung lights, these like Edison lights in the trees in the back. So when the Christmas tree
Oh.
isn't here, you can actually see them and it kind of lights everything up and it's so cool.
Great.
And
Oh, that's so
you know,
pretty.
yeah, and it's amazing when people walk into my house, they're like, oh, this is so pretty, and then they come back here and they're like, oh, this is you. I mean, my whole house is cute, but when they get back here, they're like, I love this room. I love the vibe. I love what you've done, and so.
We got hit today with a storm that put like an inch of granular ice on everything it touched.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
that sounds awful.
Yeah, and it just kicked off when we left the hospital and drove home.
Of course it did.
And we just missed it.
Oh, okay. So you missed it. Okay.
Yeah.
You got
Ooh.
help. Yeah.
That sounds terrible. Ice is the worst.
Yeah.
Getting around.
And it looks really ugly out right now.
Mm.
Waiting for the snow. We had like tiny little snow flurries, and that was it. But I'm ready for a blizzard. We got 1 day of snow last year. That was it. I've decided I'm a kind of person who I need snow in my life. I don't know if this whole southern living thing is for me forever and for always.
Well,
I don't know.
today in mid-Michigan, you would be placated.
Well, but if I just got a really good blizzard for like 3 or 4 days and then it went away, then I'd probably be okay. But when I first moved here, I wasn't used to the ice storms. And the first time I went out to start my car to go to work, it was covered in ice. And I
couldn't get it open.
I couldn't. So I called work and I'm like, look, I don't mean to sound stupid, but how do y'all do this? And they're like, well, you have to remote start your car and let it warm up. And I go, my remote start doesn't work. And they're like, oh, and I go, well, should I do like hot water down this, like not on the glass, but like down the side, like down the side of the car to like loosen up the keyhole? They're like, no, just stay there, get the hair dryer. So after that, I figured out like how to navigate that. And now I don't work, so I don't have to worry about work.
No, what you do is say, oh, it's Michael, I gotta go, click.
I do that, yes, because he's the one person, or unless if somebody was really in trouble, but yeah, it usually is that because I don't get to see him often, so
no.
Sometimes I only get to talk to him a couple times a day, so like as much as I love you all.
Yeah, no, we get it.
That's a different kind of love.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So Misha,
Very different.
Yes, Misha. Hi.
what's going on?
You there?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
So I've had an earworm in my ear for 3 days because of you.
Uh-oh.
I actually had a bad dream about that acid-induced tunnel through the Willy Wonka.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That just sounds scary.
yeah,
Oh, with Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, where they go through the tunnel on the boat ride.
yeah.
And there's like,
Exactly what
oh
you're
yeah,
talking
she painted a wonderful mental picture for that for me.
Oh my gosh. Now,
Hey,
Well,
what is
we're
all
just
that?
hi, Chris.
Hey, what is all that stuff on the whiteboard? Are those like calculations? And do you like how I got my face down here looking?
yeah. There's just so much stuff that shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I love the little electronic-y thingy in the background where it's doing the do 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 do
Oh,
do
that's
thing.
It's like war games from 1980s.
a screensaver for my laptop.
I love
Yeah.
it.
I like it. I like
Amazing.
it.
It's all pure. It's all pure idiocy, but I mean,
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at
Really
all.
like scientific.
We got
Penny, we were just asking about you.
Yes, Penny, hi. How are you?
Don't be sorry about anything. We're just glad you're here.
Now you straighten up and act like somebody. Nobody wants to hear you carry on like that.
how do you even if somebody yelled at me in that voice, I'd be like, psh,
Because I've broken a
you
few
straighten up.
wooden spoons, like tell you.
You straighten up right now. You be good, or I'm gonna say you be good again.
Here's the thing. This is what my dad always told me. He's like, never do more than what needs to be done. So I always start off calm. And then the Hobbit rage builds. And,
Oh
and
my
then
gosh.
it gets to a point, he's like, okay, I'm sorry. So I don't start off yelling straight away, but he does understand what get right with yourself, get around and act like somebody means.
Okay.
Punctuated with a spoon on the table.
Man, I tell you what, I broke one of my favorite wooden spoons yesterday, whacking it on the table, and the head flew off, and I was in a bad mood anyway, and I'm like, well, there goes that.
Did you
That's
feel better
why we
afterwards,
can't
though?
have nice things.
Let's go find the head of the wooden spoon, and then I realized it was my good pioneer woman spoon, so I must really whack that thing to break it. But you know, anyway.
Oh, come on. I'm trying to get this comment up. My backside has been known to break a wooden spoon or two back in the day. Yeah, different time, different world.
Yeah. My granny used to always tell me that's why the Lord didn't put any vital organs in your backside. If that tells you what kind of child I was.
Yeah. Well, I got it with an old hot water bottle cord one time, and that really brought on some
Ow.
conflicted feelings.
Oh.
I was meaning to ask you, Christy, how did you get involved in meditation? How did you learn to do that?
So several years ago, several years ago, I kind of had a change in my belief system. And with that came learning how to meditate and that kind of thing. And before it was something that I really was told not to do because it wasn't a like the culture in which I grew up, it was not considered a very Christian thing to do. So I really, when somebody first talked to me about meditating and grounding myself, I was like, what are you talking about? And then as I started doing all of that and seeing the benefits of it, just for everybody, just for everyone to take a step back and just be present in their bodies and that kind of thing. Then I also learned a lot about it through DBT training as well. When I did DBT therapy, it was how we would always start the sessions with a meditation and box breathing. And I just kind of was like, okay.
Sure.
But yeah, that's kind of how I got into it. And it's a way that I look for guidance and answers and just
Sure.
kind of, get quiet, redirect myself.
Well, again, I've always been meaning to ask you that because it was so familiar to me in that one of my friends gave me a grounding meditation of all things. And I thought, this is so close to that.
Yeah.
And, for those times which you can't go out and physically ground on grass or
Right.
whatever.
Right.
Um,
Right.
and I thought, this is so interesting that you happen to learn. But okay, now it makes sense that was the context in which you learned it.
I think meditation
Plus,
is a good way too for people who are really sensitive and empathic, because a lot of people are, to kind of get a hold of their emotions,
Sure.
get them back in check, and it's a good way to move out of your emotional mind into your wise mind, or
Sure.
just a good way to kind of process things. Plus,
Sure.
I like to tell stories, so if I get to do a meditation, I always
Oh, yeah.
in the orange sky.
Just to dump all those
Yeah.
emotions you picked up on and that aren't
Yeah.
yours.
no, we can't hear you at all. We can't hear you at all,
Yeah.
Misha.
No.
Yeah, you're little, I
Even
could
now?
hear it.
Yes.
Yes.
Oi, technology, it does wonders, doesn't it?
Oh, now we
Yeah.
got you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Great.
Yay, okay, I'm here.
So what's happening?
Yeah.
So, first of all, Ben, wow, yay!
Yay.
It's really cool to see you. I'm so hypocritical though, because it's like I like to see all y'all, but y'all cannot see me. One day, maybe. But no, I'm not completely live with everything, but I'm previewing it for everybody.
Okay.
I've got the lineup. And so anybody that wants to call that, wants to just get something off their chest and not be interrupted, because I'm ADHD, so I interrupt really bad all the time. If you just need to get it off your chest, if you just want to talk, if you just want to scream, if you just want to hear yourself, you can call in and you can tell me ahead of time what you want to do with it. Like if you want to be anonymous or if you don't mind sharing it, because what's going to happen is these stories that we end up sharing, somebody else is never going to hear that from somebody that they really need to. Say they're missing their mom or their dad or their children, you know that you're never going to hear that, but then you hear it from somebody else.
So I don't know if you guys caught that, but she's setting up a hotline to do that.
Yeah, it's just going to be like a regular voicemail, but I'll be listening to them.
Okay.
I won't answer them like ring, ring, hello, but I will be able to listen to them. And then I'm going to set them, if you want them to be posted, then I'm going to put a video to it. And that way it can just be put on there. And, maybe somebody needs to hear what you've got to say.
Okay.
And now, is it going to be
Yeah.
posted in Facebook or like on a website or both?
Well, it's both actually, eventually. Right now I'm having a lot of issues, obviously. But for the moment, we're testing it out. And then hopefully within the next day or so, we're going to do a video and we're going to talk about a lot of stuff, because the call to action, I need help with a lot of things, but I think a lot of us do. And like what Christy, she was talking about, what she wants to do with her channel. I know a little bit about OBS. I know just enough to, cause some problems, I think, but there's so much there. It's free. It's open source. They've been around forever, and there's a lot of really cool features in there.
Okay.
It's just like, it's very similar to the StreamYard or the Restream.
Okay.
But it's just, there's so many people that have used it, and there's so much that you can do, interplay with.
Okay.
And I thought maybe we could all start doing some videos together, some DIYs, some learning.
Yeah, that'd be
And
great.
instead of me learning by myself, instead of me learning by myself, Christy, you learning by yourself, everybody learning by themselves, combine that knowledge,
Yeah.
and so that's where I'm at. I'm not completely live with everything, but I'm getting there, and that's progress, especially for me, because it's been a year of no progress.
Well, it can go that way for a while, a good long while, and then all of a sudden things will start kind of falling into place.
I really am hoping so, because my word for the year is going to be action. Not a resolution, but action is going to be my theme. If it doesn't involve that, then we're just going to have to do something different.
No, it'll be a good year for action. Hey,
I think so.
Hold on.
I love the mute button.
I can read lips.
Kenny says, Ben,
Right.
well, you're so brave. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you, Henny. I'm
Get up
glad
there,
to see you got your linking thing
Yes.
going okay. Oh, we get a tour.
Let's
Oh.
up with my coffee.
Oh, I was hoping we'd get a tour of your house.
Well, when it's ready, well, I mean, it's ready now, but I'll do okay, that was, I will do a tour. I have one of my favorite features of my house is I have a hallway, and all it's got in there is vinyl records and record covers hanging up on the wall. We call it the Hall of Rock.
Love it.
Yeah, my husband, he took my vinyl collection, he went through it, put the records on the wall, and I told him the only thing he couldn't do, there were like certain ones that he was not allowed to touch. And he come and woke me up at 2 a.m. I had to go to work the next day to show me this. And what he had done was I had a Foo Fighters album that was like all of their like greatest hit thing, and it had the Foo Fighters symbol. And I told him, I said, you cannot hang that on the wall. So instead, what he did was he cut out the Foo Fighters symbol from the
You're the
record,
worst.
from the record cover, and he
Oh,
stuck it up in the ceiling. Now, it did give a really nice picture, shot of Dave Grohl's face, but I didn't want to look at Dave Grohl. I wanted the Foo Fighter symbol, and he was so proud of himself. So it's one of those times where I didn't have a BMW moment. I was like, I love that. And then I just went back to bed, and I was like, it's just a record. It's just an album cover. But I did have to go through and set certain ones aside, like Fleetwood Mac and Greta Van Fleet and all of that. I'm like, all my Nirvana, and don't touch those.
Hey, Chrissy, we
Greta
have
Van Fleet's
about
like 10 miles down the road from me. That's where they started.
Greta Van Fleet,
Yeah.
yes, I
Yeah,
love
they
them.
started like 10 miles down the road.
They're so good. Nisha, what were you saying?
Oh, we've got like 1,000 of the, the promo flats, the little posters. They look like the records.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, we've got so many really, really great ones.
Yeah.
And they're just sitting in boxes, just sitting there chilling, not really doing nothing but just chilling.
Oh man, see, I love that.
That could be a big thing. Yeah.
I love.
I need to go through and just take some pictures, and that way we can show them off. Because there's some really great ones. There's some find ones. Yeah, we've got quite a few that y'all be like, oh my gosh,
That is so cool.
I need to do that.
I am always that nerd, like going through the record stores, like looking for all the and I don't necessarily like. There are some collectors that want like the first pressing of the original. Like I don't care. I just want to find a really cool record in a record shop. Like that's my thing.
Right.
And my dad loved Cyndi Lauper when he was alive, and his favorite song by her was Time After Time. And I asked him one time, I'm like, why do you like Cyndi Lauper? And he goes, well, because we're both kind of weird. Like we don't really fit societal norms. And he's like, she's an amazing songwriter. Yeah, and so his favorite song was Time After Time. And so whenever I get sad or I miss my dad, that's what I listen to. But I could never find an original She's So Strange record. So I ended up paying a huge pile of money for a new version of a release one. But I really want one of the original ones because they sound so much better. And I got one of the first, not like first as far as like ever made, just I got one of the old school Fleetwood Mac Rumors. That was my first record I got, and I
Best
put it on.
of all time.
Yes, I just played it over and over. And I got Hotel California and all of those. Like, I would just go through and find that's like my favorite thing to do is just find these old records. You find a lot of Eddie Rabbit too, which, I have the one obligatory Eddie Rabbit thing so that I can at least say I had it. But I am all about like good music and some of the stuff that I grew up listening to, and I didn't even know this. They quit in the 90s. Everything was moving to CD. So they stopped making as many records. So a lot of the music I grew up listening to that I was buying CDs for, they didn't actually have vinyl for.
Mhm.
So you can't even go back and find like some of the like, original release because they just didn't have it. So you have to get in other places. But there are some that you can find, but they're expensive. But most of the stuff I kind of look for. But the other stuff I like, the 70s stuff I know there's vinyl out there for that.
I happen to know, Carol, what was your first album that you owned?
Well, it depends on whether that's an album that I got for myself or the ones that I commandeered from my brother.
Mhm.
So if you're going by the ones commandeered by my brother, that would be Steppenwolf Gold
Mhm.
and Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, Deja Vu.
Hmm.
Oh, wow.
Now,
Good.
the first album that I got of my own was Elton John, Rock of the Westies,
Okay.
and it was a Christmas present from my brother. The next album I remember getting was Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Damn the Torpedoes. Wonderful album.
Sure.
And
Love Tom Petty.
yeah,
How about you, Steve?
Steve Hartman references me and Vicky right here.
What did you say?
I got an
some good
original.
friends.
I got an original copy of
Hmm.
I would be Mo, by the way.
So, what was the first album you owned, Steve? Or you bought?
Grand Illusion Sticks.
Okay, I remember that album.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big Tommy Shaw fan.
Yeah. And you know what? He's doing live stuff with orchestral backgrounds, and he's still hitting those high notes that he hit when he was a kid.
I thought he was a hot chick for the longest time, and I found out he was a dude. But yeah, he's able to hit those high. There's no way he's been tacked male. There's just no way. I mean, he had to have some surgery or something. I mean, that's just not natural.
Seriously, there's
Hey
something
guys,
to say
I gotta
whenever
run
guys
too.
get
I gotta
their
take
nose
some
girls.
meds.
Okay, Steve. Thank you for popping in.
Mwah,
See
Steve.
you.
Thanks. See you. Love you guys.
Love you too, Steve.
Love you too.
Seeger, what was?
Hey, you guys ever join a record club?
Yes. Yeah,
And I used to love those deals. And
They had some great
they
deals.
did.
I
I got all my Rush albums that way.
I can still remember my what do you call it? My account number, WJ112455.
Oh, that's amazing.
But I can't remember what I had for breakfast.
Right.
Go figure. I can remember every word to the Love Boat, or it's stuff like that. But I can't remember. I can't remember anybody's phone number. I have to use my cell phone.
Right.
If we've conditioned ourselves to being lazy with our mental status, and so now that we try to reach back to it, it's like, wait, where'd it go? I'm like, I wanted to be Wonder Woman when I was little, and now I'm Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
But I wonder where I left my keys, where I left my phone. And it's sitting right in front of me,
Okay, I get it.
I wonder where I listened to myself.
Well,
That's awesome.
I just wanted to pop on just to say hi and pick on
It's
you
so
two,
cool.
get you all riled up and turn you on each other.
I love it. Thank you. I love it.
That's awesome. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Well, thank you for the link and all this and that and everything else. And I want to know what Kiss Freak's first album. Oh, wait a minute.
Here we go. First one was on tape, and it was Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA. First record was Kiss Alive 1, I found in 99.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
He's young. Yeah, my first album was actually Kiss Alive 2, believe it or not. That was way back in 1970. Oh, crap. When was that? It was 70s. I don't remember when. Oh, yeah. We're lucky we lived through the 70s. K-pop albums, power rock for fun.
Yeah, all of that good stuff.
Well, I do hope.
Right. Riding on the hoods of cars and in the back of the truck. Man, those were the days.
Yeah, now they'd probably accuse you of being a member of Al
Oh,
Qaeda if you were
gosh, I can
driving
only imagine.
in the back of the truck. You don't have seatbelts. Oh wow. And thank you so much.
Still did the whole
Right.
I
when you take the hood of the car.
do.
I still did that.
Rolling Stone asked, do you remember the K-Tel albums? I do remember K-Tel. Hell yeah. Power Rock for $5.99 and 76, I think. Yeah, those were great. It's kind of like what Time Life does, but it's one album or maybe a double album or something like that. But yeah, those were fantastic. I don't think I ever got to own one. I was a kid when those would come on TV, but I'm like, oh, I want that K-Tel and that one. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh. See,
Bye, Ben.
bye. I was
My bad.
tapes were the big. When I was really, really little, I remember my mom had a record player that you could stack 8 records on, and it would drop one record at a time. Like it would play, and then the next one, and then everything went to like really to cassette tapes and then to CDs. So I remember one of my first cassette tapes was Bon Jovi's "Slippery When Wet," and my uncle was there's one, the song "Living in Sin." He's like, "Oh, should we buy this? Is your mom gonna be okay with that?" What's he saying?
Piled in the back of a station wagon. We had a 65 ranch wagon, and that thing was humongous. We got rolled all around that back of that thing. It was like a little bowling ball rolling around
Right.
the back of that thing. I love that thing.
I got my very first kiss in one of those when I was 5 years old on my birthday.
Aww.
His name was Mason, and we should. Mwah.
Oh, that is so sweet.
She's waking and getting up slowly, Cosmic.
Yeah.
That's our girl.
That's right. Hi, Mandrew. Good to see you.
Andrew.
I
Ozzy got Wee Man back.
Oh, that's good. I've seen
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Wee Man.
It's always nice when they come back. I mean, it's
Yeah,
so difficult to let them go for a visit, but it's really nice when they come back.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is. And they tell you how much they missed you and how they never want to go do it again.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
Yeah. Rumors was great. Rumors was really great. It was back in that day, that was like a revolution. It really was. The Cars, Metallica, Rolling Stones, Rush, Billie Holiday, AC/DC, eclectic to say the least. I loved every one of those. And I love all the ones you named in the first one too.
Yeah. For my generation, I think our big like revolution album was Nevermind by Nirvana, like Smells Like Teen Spirit and all of that. Like that was the first, because I mean I grew up on 80s hair bands and I loved them. But it was like when they came on the scene, I was like, who are these people? Like the way he plays his guitar and he's dirty and like not dirty in the sense of like naughty, but just like you could tell he hadn't washed his hair,
Right.
and I just loved the angst and the rage.
Yeah.
And it was so like, and I am oh my gosh, I am a huge Nirvana fan. That's another thing. My husband bought me a picture of like a poster of Kurt Cobain in that really just trashed green sweater when he was on MTV Unplugged and he was playing his acoustic guitar. It's framed in my kitchen setting under my record player. It's like a wooden Victrola record player. But everything that was like, that's what I want to do. Like that right there. I just didn't care. So, and my parents didn't know enough to know like everything that was really going on with the band. So otherwise they probably wouldn't really let me listen to it.
I don't think we had any way of knowing that. Even fans.
No, I mean,
No.
And I love that. Like, I miss that little bit of mystery.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what my, favorite I don't know. Like I want to know what kind of guitar they're playing, but I don't need to know what kind of, underwear they wear or whatever. Like
Right.
I like a little mystery to things. And I
Yeah.
think when that went away,
Yeah.
it was,
I mean, it's kind of nice now that you can get the right lyrics to a song instead of singing them forever, forever and ever the wrong lyrics, which are hilarious, by the way. They're usually always hilarious. Wrong lyrics.
here's the funny thing. I did not know. So CCR, their one lyric, Bad Moon on the Rise. I didn't know people thought that was Bathroom on the Right until I heard John Fogerty talking about it. And he's like, sometimes I will sing the wrong lyrics just to mess with people. But my daughter, she was listening to Pour Some Sugar on Me, and she started singing, and she's like, where it goes, hit me like a bomb, and then it's like, so the one lyric is something completely different. She thought it said, I got my red iPhone. And she goes, how did they have a red iPhone back then? And I was like, no, Google that lyric. And then and she goes, oh, that's not right. Yeah. But I think there was something amazing about music
True,
back
yeah.
then.
The only thing that you would ever see is of the artist would be their album cover, unless you went to their show and bought their merch or whatever. Or you bought Rolling Stone magazine. You got some glimpses there, and that's about it.
Can I say I always wanted, like, my whole goal
Oh,
in
Midnight
life,
Special.
I wanted, oh, they're good too. I wanted to be a Rolling Stone photographer. Like I wanted to go out with the band, and that's why when I started taking pictures, I was taking black and white. It was like a few different reasons. But the Rolling Stone magazines that I always seen, that were like these really cool, like I just wanted to be with the band. I didn't even need to be the band. I just wanted to like take pictures of the band.
Huh. Cover band from Quebec, Slow Walking Water, fire engine guy. I feel like I should know this. I really feel like I should know this, and I'm going to probably go, oh, as soon as I find out what it is. If you're going to tell us that is Kiss, Lord Kiss
Slow
Freak.
Walking Walter.
That, like wrong lyrics.
Right,
Like,
right.
what it sounds like versus what it actually says. Hey guys, had to pop off, but I'll be listening in. Want to let you know also that the show Tommy was talking about earlier will be coming on in just a few minutes. Well, I really want to see that. The one where he's going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, yeah. Well, should we do a meditation and hop off so that or just do some box breathing? That way everybody can head over to there.
Yeah, I would love to see that one.
Yeah,
I would
I think
really
that
like
would
to
be
see
awesome.
that. So we could either stay here and watch it here, or we can log off, all go off and go on there. Either way, however you guys want to do it. Smoke on the Water. That
I was
is,
gonna say,
I
I
knew
can
it was
kind
going
of
to be
hear
something
it.
like that was like so known like that. Slow walking water, that fire engine guy. That is hilarious.
Isn't it amazing what people come up with?
It is.
It is. Well, I say let's just do some quick box breathing, and that way everybody can hop off and tune in, and
Yeah, that way they'll, yeah.
yeah, and so people can enjoy it, and we can give Down the Rabbit Hole some views and some subscribes if you guys have subscribed.
Before we commit to that, how's everybody doing? Put a 2 if you still need a meeting, and I'll stay. No problem at all. There is always replay.
Oh, yeah.
And 3 if you feel like you're good, have had a meeting. It was more of a conversation than a meeting, but sometimes that's good too. There's something to be said for normalcy.
Right.
A bunch of Abby normals
Right.
See what I did there? Abby,
Yeah.
normal is getting to be normal, just having normal everyday conversation. And I think that's important.
It is. It is. It is. I had the biggest Henny, I had the biggest crush on Axl Rose. Love
Yeah.
Foreigner. I mean, I'm not a huge Queen fan. Aerosmith, love. Queensryche, not so much. Kenny Rogers, absolutely. Run DMC, no, not my jam. Snoop Dogg, no. Eminem, some of it. Cream, no. Zappa, Elton John, Steve Lawrence, Frank Sinatra. Yeah, Frank Sinatra's kind of
I
good.
like Frank Sinatra.
I just love good music. And
Yeah.
I love it when people send me links and stuff because maybe it's not my normal. That's how I got into like Arctic Monkeys. My husband sent me this song and I'm like, what is an Arctic monkey? But then I listened to it and I was like, oh, this is good. So, I'm always up for stuff like that.
Just knowing you guys will be here and spending time is the best feeling ever. Right on. Yeah. I'll never keep your pizza burning, living here with me, Rolling Stones. That's amazing. Beast of burden. Pizza burning. That's amazing.
My brother had one song. You guys don't know it. It wasn't a mainstream song, but the lyric went loose as ashes in the wind, and my brother used to sing it loose mustaches in the wind, and my dad would just be like, no, son, that's not right.
All right. Has it started yet, you guys? Okay, here we go. It's on Tommy's channel. Okay, I thought he said he wasn't going to simulcast, but apparently.
Filthy. And I'm not trying to bum anybody out, but so is that church. It doesn't mean that the people that believe what they believe are bad people, right? I'm not busting on Mormons, but boy, oh boy, when you dig into this one, it's ugly. There were being cut from the church to that one, and that I think crosses all kinds of lines, right? There's some ethics things in there that should
later on.
I think the one going down the rabbit hole is going to be on soon because he said that he was going live an hour before Down the Rabbit Hole because Down the Rabbit Hole is scheduled for the same time as the boat is normally live.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know what this
All right.
is.
Well, I was just curious. I just wanted to see. Anyway, I just wanted to see.
Yeah.
And it looks like it was that 8 passengers mom person that he had up on the screen. That was a bad deal. Those poor kids.
Yeah, how somebody could do that to kids, I just don't. I don't.
Well, CK, what are we doing here? What's going on here? Cosmic, Misha, maybe we can talk about you next step. I would like that too. I'm not in the mood for this right now. Okay. Well, that's fine. The boat just left dock. Rabbits on at 5 Pacific. Okay, so we got a little time before that. She's not quite ready for that. Yeah. Thank you, love. Not quite ready to talk about it too much right now. Having issues trying to ground back up. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And that's fair. This for voice. But the number is this for voice. Okay. DIS for, I'm going to put this up. Okay. Yes, Zelda, Rabbit's channel is at 7 when he's going to be doing and when Tommy's going to be on Rabbit's channel. Okay. So we're not missing that. And not that I don't, want to discount the importance of what he's talking about right now, but yeah, that it's a little bit of a triggering subject and some of us may not be okay with that. So, okay. For some reason I was thinking it was the rabbit hole that was coming
I
on.
went through, to be honest.
So if anybody was triggered by that, I'm very sorry. Yeah, I want to. I kind of need a little bit of help understanding the voicemail part of it and how it's all going to work as well.
So I can tell you, I called it last night when I got the number.
Okay.
So I called it, and it's a Google voicemail, and it rings in. I think it rings like 5 times before it picks up, and then it says, please say your name, so we can put your call through. And at that point, you can say your name or you can say anonymous. It doesn't matter. And then it will go through, and then you hear a recording of Misha talking. And I don't remember exactly what she says. It's very sweet, though. It's something like, hey, basically the gist of it is, what you're saying is important to me, and I'm here to listen, and I will get, I want to hear what you have to say. And you can just scream, you can share a story, whatever you want to do. And she just talks very gently. It's really, really cool. And then it just beeps, and then you just leave your message. And so I sent her like a little test thing yesterday. And yeah, she says, make sure to say if you want private or posted, anonymous or not. And so I just left a message, and then I got a little response, and it was really cool. It felt good to even just do that. Like, oh, it almost reminds me of how have you seen those campaigns where they have like papers and envelopes and people write down their secrets, or the things that they wouldn't ever tell anybody, and they just write it down on a random piece of paper and they don't sign it. They put it in an envelope, and then they put it in a box, and then it gets opened and shared, but no one knows who's there's no name to it, but it's just so you can get it off your chest. Like, but it was really cool to call in. It was really kind of interesting. Yeah, it was amazing. And then you can just go. You just talk. So no.
Misha says she was in tears, actually. Aw.
So
okay.
Hi, buddy.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was kind of cool.
Yeah, that is.
And I can see where that could be, maybe you don't have anyone to talk to, or you don't know what to say, or you don't really want to say it to anyone. You could just call up and say it there, and you just get it out.
Nice.
And voice on the other end of the line. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
It was really cool. But yeah.
Well, we got a bunch of 3s earlier on. How are you guys doing? Do you guys want to keep going, or do you want to do some box breathing and do something else, or how are y'all feeling out there in chat land? Some days there's just not a whole lot to talk about.
Yeah,
like you said it all, and this feels like one of those days, and and I'm having to kind of walk myself through being okay with that.
Yeah. I mean, it's always good when there's not, well, of course we're always here when people need us, but sometimes it's just good to have a fun conversation and then be like, okay, I gotta go do this, or I'm gonna go do that, or whatever, just kind of like a nice conversation among friends. What are you doing?
Oh, here we go. Misha says, we had another, in my opinion, miracle last night too. If there's anything you need, I will try to find resources, but no professional help, just a loving friend who cares and wants to hear your story.
Yeah.
Oh,
Stop. Please stop.
oh,
Stop.
I love that.
I love that.
I love that. Right on.
You know, I think that's good because, sometimes what we share seems really heavy, and, maybe we, you know, just want to share it with someone that we just don't know, that's just a quiet voice on the other side.
Carol, you're so kind to ask. I'm feeling better today. I'm glad you are, but it's hard, as I'm sure everyone knows. I can't even begin to imagine, Henny. My mom, I had the loss of my relationship, mother-daughter, kind of those last few years of her life, because it was not there. There wasn't any part of that left taking care of her, and of course she lived with us, and so yeah, I can only relate to that up to that point. But before that, I had a wonderful relationship with my mom. I could talk to her about anything. And so, I really, my heart breaks so much for people who don't have good relationships with their mom. It should be the best relationship you ever have,
Yeah.
and I'm sorry that it hasn't been that way, and that you're having to take care of that person now. That's a lot.
It is.
It's a rainy, windy Monday. Not much else happening here. Yeah. And you know what, too, Henny, caregiver burnout is real. And I'm glad that you get some breaks. It's so important.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, having to care for that person now. Yeah, Henny's, I'm sorry, I don't know what is going on, but my love for you is real and strong. Misha, she, if am I talking, Henny? Is that okay? Yeah. I had to do that with my brother, Henny. He was my only sibling, and it was never going to be a brother-sister relationship. It never was. It was never going to be, and yeah. Okay.
I can.
So Misha, she grew up with a narcissistic, abusing mother, if I have that correct. And now that mother is old and not doing well, and she's having to care for her, and that's just beyond. I mean, so many people don't care for their parents when they had good parents, caring, loving parents. Nobody has perfect parents ever.
No. No.
But they'll just stick them in a home, and I've seen those people because I used to cut hair in a nursing home. When I was cutting hair, I used to be a hairdresser, and sometimes I would go and just visit with them, or take a group of people to Carol there or something, and these sweet people were just shoved back in a nursing home with hardly anybody checking on them outside of the employees that worked there, and each other, and having each other, and then somebody like you, Henny, your mother was awful, and yet you're still willing to care for her because it's the right thing to do. I don't, what a weird world.
The closest to any of that I've personally experienced was Michael's mom was really not good. Probably about on the level of what I understand Henny's mom to be on. The things that she did to him as a child blew my mind. When he really started talking about his childhood. And the thing was, he never said, I was abused. It was always, my mom didn't treat me well. And when things started coming out, especially at the end of her life, it was very difficult for him because you have this conflict of she needed to be in hospice because she had cancer. She needed to be in hospice. It was end of life care. He was doing everything he could for her. She was just disgustingly abhorrent to him. There's no other way to put it. And the last words that she said to him, he told me what they were. And it was the most disgusting thing a mother could ever say to a son. And when she passed, he did not go to her funeral by his choice. I said, because we were driving from Montana back down somewhere, so we could have stopped. And he said, I don't want to go. And as it was explained to me by another friend who had a very similar situation, it's really difficult when the person who treated you so badly gets into that position, because she and he had both lost their parents, and she's like, it's a very tricky situation because you're expected to give this level of care
Yeah.
that was never given to you,
Yeah.
and by somebody that was supposed to give it to you. And so you're doing that out of obligation and not out of love,
Right.
but you're not understanding everything because this person who was supposed to love you didn't. And it forever changed the way that you see every relationship and just even how you navigate the world. And it was very difficult for both of them when their mothers passed. Um, um, and it was that's the closest I've ever seen. It was so heartbreaking to watch them go through some of that.
Yeah.
And they and there was a part of it that was really difficult for them to do those things because they were coming to terms with how they were treated, what needed to be done, how they were being treated as adult children. And
Yeah. That was,
and it just broke my
so
heart.
bad. So bad.
Yeah. It really. Hi, Cosmic.
I think so, Michelle. I don't see any freezing here. Oh, okay. Ben Turner says I'm frozen too. I don't see any freezing. So if it's freezing, I apologize. It might be my internet connection. You do deserve it, Henny. You can give love. I can give love, but loving me is so far away. I'm learning, and that's what life is about. Yeah. Yes, it is. And you are a beautiful person. What's not to love? Hi, Cosmic.
Hi. Just been listening and just getting up slowly so I don't pass out of you.
Okay.
Yeah. You see my mouth?
Okay. I'm gonna try refreshing. So if ever anybody's talking, we'll
I see everything okay on my end.
I see everything.
There's no freezing or anything on mine.
Yeah.
There we go.
So you suggest refreshing, hitting refresh? Is that?
Well, oh no, there was somebody else in the browser that was having.
Oh, okay.
A couple of us were frozen.
Okay.
And, yeah, it was just one of those things. But
Okay.
yeah,
I'll be right back.
I don't know In Henny's case, of course, she has a different experience. With me, what I learned, although my mother was different, um, there wasn't active abuse there so
Right.
much as it was when I was sexually abused. I went to my mother and I told her about it, and complete gaslighting. And every issue I had throughout my life where there was difficulty, it was gaslighting. And I realized that that was the way at which she dealt with everybody. And knowing that she was a psychopath, I mean, basically, that's where your amygdala does not work right. And I realized that she underwent abuse as a child, which that may be more not psychopathy, but sociopathy. Um, but I had to realize that she just basically did the best she could. I mean,
Mhm.
and that was the way at which she knew, because that was the way in which she was raised. You didn't talk about any of that stuff. You didn't
Oh,
address it. I
Mhm.
don't know if that helps anybody or not,
well,
probably,
yeah.
but
I mean, and gaslighting is a form of abuse,
yeah, I mean, and I
especially not
think,
being validated for something so
yeah,
devastating, being and not and your own mother not having your back.
yeah, and it's one of those things as a child, especially as a really young child, you begin to doubt yourself. Like, well, maybe it didn't happen, and um, having friends that they weren't that they weren't involved, but they
Mm,
were present. That kind of helped. Like, yeah, okay, I know this really happened, kind of thing. And it wasn't until years later that, of course, I got help for it.
okay.
And, of course, dealing with it and stuff. And I realized that a lot, and I think I even said this yesterday or last meeting, that a lot of the limiting beliefs we have, I'm not worth anything, I'm not worthy of love, I'll never be good enough. All that stuff comes about, and all of it, but a lot of it comes about when you're a child. And it's those experiences
Yeah.
which kind of teach you that, and that they're there because, child's reasoning,
Yeah.
this must be
Yeah.
true. And they just don't suit you as an adult anymore.
That's
And,
right.
and they're
That's
very
right.
hard. They're very hard to overcome because they work their way down into your lower brain where it doesn't speak English, it just speaks emotion. And years of practicing it will, um, reinforces that, and it takes
Yeah.
forever to undo them.
Yeah.
Um, One thing I have found that helps, at least me, and it sounds counterintuitive, but was to have motivational posters where people are celebrating, but have those limiting beliefs on them, like I will never be worth anything, and have it up there. And because what you do is you start seeing that, and you feel disgust, and because you're using your core feelings to address it, and you kind of see it over and over again, and that creates awareness that I have this limiting belief. And the more you look at it, the more you can say, that is so stupid. Why would I believe that? And it seems to help.
Okay.
And then also turning around and reframe, trying to reframe them too. That
Yeah.
seems to help. But
Yeah.
I mean, I just wanted to get on, and it's not the same thing as what Henny went through, of course. But
No, but there's always something to be learned. And so how did you learn that through therapy, or did you just kind of come to these realizations?
um, a little bit. Excuse me. Try breathing in a breath mint, which your lungs don't like.
Ooh, ouch.
Yeah, it's taking in solids into your lungs. Um, a little bit I've learned in therapy.
Okay.
A lot of it I learned afterwards, working for Chase Hugh, working for one of the people in the behavior panel. He's a neuroscientist.
Wow.
He has some classes in confidence reboot. Some of them feature, of all things, some what Chrissy was going into, some meditations, things like
Okay.
that. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Trying to remember who else. There's somebody who I know who's big into. I can't think of his name. Who's big into hypnosis as well. That stuff like that
Okay.
helped.
So okay.
But at least that's what helped me. You know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and yeah, Henny, that was just one of the things that it took a long time to realize that probably something close happened to her. It doesn't help, but it kind of helped me reframe who I was talking to, who I was seeing.
I get that.
Yeah, that she probably went through something similar, and that
Yeah.
she honestly probably doesn't have that ability to, because psychopaths, they do not feel the emotions of others. They don't. When somebody gets stuck with something, most of us go, "Oh, that must have hurt." They don't feel anything, and the emotions that they show, they're pretty much a show. I mean, that's what they've learned by watching people, and oftentimes they're mistimed because they don't realize you don't smile at certain times. You don't smile when you're talking about the pain of others. You don't. They don't realize that, and once I started realizing what a psychopath is,
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't take away anything, but helped me reframe it, if nothing else.
Yeah. And sometimes that's enough. That's enough to get you on your way.
Sure. And
Yeah.
and I think it's probably the same thing with recovery from anything. I mean, maybe not necessarily, maybe not the details.
There's some correlations.
Yeah. And that's why I think I like. Right, I'll use the term recovering addict. Some people don't like the term. I'm not recovering. I'm an addict.
I mean,
I don't mean any of that.
We were where we were. I mean, there's nothing that can be done about it now. You know.
But I think they tend to be more real because going through therapy, that really helped because I realized that a lot of the people I was in recovery with, that they knew they had issues.
Yeah.
People out there, they like to pretend, no, we don't. We're perfect. You go to the YouTube and it's like, look how great I'm doing. And, anything, YouTube's turning, you have social, it's supposed to be social media, but when you're acting against, being normal or, that's kind of antisocial when you're just posting up fake things about yourself.
Yeah.
Is being I don't know. I don't know if that's one question I don't know if psychopathy is.
I don't know if they have a way to answer that yet. I would like to know that myself.
Yeah, and
because my brother ticked boxes. If you Google psychopath, my brother ticked off all the boxes, every last one of them.
Yeah, and I mean to really get a good ruling on whether somebody's psychopathic or not, you actually need a medical exam and all this.
Yeah.
But you can, if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, it's probably a psychopath. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's a wolf in a U suit, as they say.
Yeah.
Someone said once, genetics. How did it go? Genetics loads the you pull the trigger. So
I think a lot of times they're created.
Genetics loads the gun, you pull the trigger. So I think some of it, it's a very fine line between nature and nurture because you can make an argument for both.
Sure.
I do think that, I would have to say, I think psychopathy is probably more hereditary, Whereas sociopathy is probably more nurtured
Yeah.
because of certain situations.
Mhm.
But not always. I think a lot of it, you've got some predisposition to things.
Okay.
But it's what you do with that.
Yeah.
Now, do I think that I mean, you look at take a look at some of the really awful people out there that are known for things. You can say they'll say, oh, it doesn't surprise us. We kind of seen these tendencies, that kind of thing. And to me, those are more the psychopathic side.
Sure.
The sociopathic side, I think, is kind of more nobody really sees it coming. It just slowly creeps on because the personality is molded, and even I think to a point, narcissistic tendencies, not narcissistic personality disorder, but narcissistic tendencies can even be encouraged.
Oh, yeah.
If you're someone who's always telling your child, you're perfect, you can do no wrong, you're amazing, here's your participation trophy, here's all these things, oh, that shouldn't have happened. Then when you get into a situation, you get older, you've heard that your entire life,
Sure.
then it becomes expected. And I seen something the other day that said, it was like a group call, and someone had bought first class tickets to like Antigua or somewhere like that for a company retreat. And they're like, do you not see how maybe that was not the best choice? And the response was, well, how else would you fly? Like, we have to go there and we have to make sure it's okay and we have to stay in this resort. So it was like this really bad behavior was justified.
Sure.
And and parent and as a mother myself, right? We blended family, 8 kids. Like, I can tell you every time I have messed up, and that's not saying that all parents, it's their fault for whatever happened. That's not the case, But I do think it's a difficult thing. But I think certain things are loaded, and I think it's up to you which the environment you put yourself in. But I do think that there's help available for anyone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I
It's
raised my
just-
kids exactly the same way, but they turned out completely different.
Yeah.
My gosh, of all of my kids, you know what? Yeah, my 3 that I raised, not a single one of them are the same. You look at my husband and his brother and sister. His sister was a meth addict who did time in a female prison. She got her kids taken away. His brother is a lying alcoholic. Ugh. And then Michael, straight laced, doesn't have any addictions, works really hard, takes care of his family, supports his kids, shows up, does everything he needs to do. And so I don't want anybody to say that I think that it's the parents' fault that anything happens. I do not believe that in the slightest.
Yeah.
But I just
In a lot of ways, it's
that they're-
like I don't take credit for my children. They've chosen to be who they are.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it was a big healing step, at least for me, to realize that she tried with what she had, but she
right.
just doesn't view people. And I thought it was all, I think we have a tendency to think it's all on us. The way she would talk to me would be like, why can't you be like your brother who was good in track? And then it wasn't until much later that I realized she would talk to him, say, why can't you be like your older brother who's an engineer? And she would talk about him behind his back, saying, well, he's an alcoholic. He's such an alcoholic, that he would say, why can't you be like, and she would just do that triangulation, not just with us, one versus another, but she would do it with her friends. And once I started putting that together, that showed me that she just doesn't have the capacity. I mean, that sounds so condescending.
Well,
but it's just like you don't have the capacity to.
But if you don't have it, I gotta check on something real quick. Y'all, I'll be right back.
okay.
Sure. But yeah, that's what.
my mother's supposed to do that with my sister and I. And it's funny because she thinks we don't talk to each other. It's like, It's so I'm just like me and my sister talk it out, and it's just like, I don't understand why she does it. I just don't get it.
Mm.
I don't. It's like she's trying to play us off against each other. Like my sister thinks she preferred it when we didn't talk as often as we do, but it doesn't matter. I know what she's doing. Well, I don't even know if she knows what she's doing because she drinks so much. She doesn't remember. Like by the time she talks, like if we talk to her after about 6 o'clock her time, she's very drunk. And she doesn't remember that we've had the same conversation. So I pull her up now and say we spoke about that yesterday, so she doesn't go through the same story. So, so it is, it is what it is. And now we've figured it out. We don't play into that game.
Right on.
So,
Okay.
yeah, I checked with Rihanna first to see if there's anything that Mum said. So that's not true. Instead of me getting all upset about it, same with Rihanna. So she texts with me first to find out what was actually the truth.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
but it is, yeah.
I just couldn't imagine being put in the position that Henny's in.
I can't either.
I
I 100% cannot imagine.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's wow. A lot.
Well, Mum knows that I'm not moving back to New Zealand, so she's going to have to sort herself out over there. She needs to be looking after. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, does she have things set up if she needs that so that you guys don't have to trot over to New Zealand?
I don't know. It's up to her. She didn't look after me my whole life. I can't imagine how she would expect me to look after her in her old age.
Right.
I know it sounds a bit harsh, but
No. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, I've got a life over here, and she chose a life over there.
Yeah. Right. So is she active? Is she just talking about it, or is she actively making steps toward it?
No, it's just always been a joke that because she's only 16 years older than me, we're meant to be together at an old folks' home racing our electric scooters. So I'm like, it's not going to happen, and I couldn't imagine it anyway. I'm not going to be stuck with her. I couldn't live with her. We tried, not happening.
Right.
Yeah, we're too much alike, but not alike, So. But yeah, I'm really sorry you're going through that.
Yeah.
Any?
Yeah. I do hope that you guys find a good facility. I mean, or just a facility. Somebody who does that as a job, they don't have the same emotional baggage with the people that you have. And hopefully they're there for the right reasons and to do the right thing, because you get a mixed bag, and it's that way in every place. I've never found a place that didn't have really good things about it and really, really, really bad things about it. But it's a necessary evil, especially in a situation like yours, I feel like.
Sure. Yeah,
They're improving the situations for most of the aged care homes because they're government run over here.
Yeah.
Generally, they are private facilities, but even those aren't perfect. But
right.
But yeah, because they were the most hard hit by the rains over here.
Yeah.
And they were the last to really open, so that the elderly people were left alone for so long. So but they're improving. Like they've got more workers and stuff going in there.
Yeah, that's the key. Yeah, my husband was working for a state-run institution, and they were always understaffed. And he was in the Alzheimer's dementia ward. And when you've got 40 people, 40 rooms on a floor, and you're one of one or one of two, God, I don't even know how he did it, and he doesn't know how he did it. I know he doesn't.
I couldn't do it.
You can.
Yeah, I spent too long. I was looking after my daughter since 2008 until last year, and yeah, it's just it was I got burnout from it because it's just too much.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. And it wasn't like it was too much. I loved being. She was my hyper focus. I loved being her carer, but I was starting to find her other supports so that eventually she could be independent, and now she is. So
Oh, well, right on.
yeah,
Yeah.
she did it herself. So it's great.
Yeah.
So,
That actually is. It sounds like
Yeah.
she's doing okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I see what you got in your hand there.
Ooh,
Little poop emoji.
yeah.
yeah, I have
It comes in
squishmallows on
handy.
my desk.
It comes in handy, especially when you're frustrated and you want to scream at somebody who's going, "Ah," that number.
Yeah. I actually have a funny story I wanted to share, which is why I came on today. I won't stay because I've actually got to go into the out today, which is a part of my funny story. So, you know how when you get kids in your house, I actually think this is hilarious. One of the reasons why I've been scratching. But last night I was like, I've washed my hair. Yes.
Oh no. Oh
I think it's
no.
hilarious. It's been so long because I normally straighten my hair because I hang out with a lot of kids who go to school and daycare, and that's one of the reasons why I normally straighten my hair a lot because it's really hard for them to survive.
Oh
And I
no.
haven't been able to straighten my hair because of my hand, and I think I'll be all right now.
Okay.
I have to go get some. I have to go get some hair dye because that kills them anyway, and I'll leave that in for the 45 minutes or whatever you need to. I'm gonna cut my hair because you have to comb my hair and then condition it, and because conditioner kills them as well. It kills you and helps you get the eggs out. I think it's hilarious, and I'm watching my bedding. I'm really lucky I've been sleeping on the couch.
Hear about it. I would not.
I'm the off. I've spent so many years getting out of my daughter's hair and all that sort of stuff, and then I taught her to do it. She was really weird about it, so she was always constantly combing her hair. So I never really had to worry about it. And my son, he was fine because his hair was so oily they never caught on anyway. So I think it's funny. So yeah.
Well, good on you for having a sense of humor about it. Boy.
Oh well, I've done. Yeah. Oh, I just use conditioner. I can't really use anything else on there because I've got dermatitis, and so everything burns. So it's just so if I'm scratching, it's not because
Misha says she has the best for that. 3 girls who brought home so many friends too.
Yeah. Oh, because I'm kids climb all over me and all that sort of stuff, and I've got hair all the way. I can sit on my hair if I put it back. So I'm also going to buy some scissors and give myself a bit of a trim.
Yeah. That'll make it easier to comb out and all that. Oh.
Yeah. So it's fine. I can only bang it all out in one day and just keep combing every day. So it's like a 7-day cycle. Fine.
Okay. So I'm curious, Misha, what you got for that?
Yeah, I'd like to know.
I need to do one thing really quick. I'll be right back.
She's doing that. I need to write something on the board. What can I write?
I have whiteboards all over my house.
Is this? Oh no, it's not mirrored. Okay. There we go.
Okay.
Oh, she can't see that. Oh, maybe she can. No BGs there.
No BGs.
Actually, I think Henny was into the BGs, so she probably will.
Yeah, the BGs lived not far from where I am for a while.
Oh, that's right. They were Australian.
Yeah. Oh well, I think they were born in England, but they grew up near the beach. They got some really weird looking statues here.
Yeah, I was thinking more.
Starts with an R. I think it's Redcliffe.
But AC/DC's Australian, aren't they?
Yeah, they're from like Melbourne or something.
I think I know that Bon Scott was actually Scottish.
Yeah,
And I know
their
that the
brothers
next
were.
singer after him was Australian, but I think the band is either UK or Scotland. I'm not
Oh,
sure.
no
No, they're
kidding.
Australian. They're
Oh.
Australian.
They are? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're the three brothers that originally started it. One of them recently died in New Zealand.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were Australian.
Okay.
Bon Scott was Scottish though.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I've got to go because I've got to go to the shops. I can't deal with this.
Okay. So here's the thing that she has: 1/8 pennyroyal, eucalyptus, and tea tree to EVO. I don't know what that means.
Is that
What's
a
EVO?
is that a hot toddy? No. Oh,
It's
okay.
oil.
Directly on the hairline. Oh, okay. So you don't. Okay.
CK wants to know if Henny has a Metro Parks near the house. And Henny wants to know what color you're going to do your hair.
I'm just going to do it black again. I like the black now. So
Okay, so here we go. This stuff, you can put it in a spray bottle, spray non-cloth, it's oil, then put a dab directly at the hairline on neck daily. The little truckers can't breathe. The concoction saved a school epidemic. Extra virgin olive oil.
yeah, I just can't. Yeah, I don't think it's been there very very long because otherwise, yeah, I would have found a lot more last night. Because I was sitting there like combing my hair. But that's just I can't deal. Like my whole body itches right now because I just think about it.
I know it does. I know it does. Oh
So I'm
man.
gonna go up the road and get this thing started. I've already got my shoes and everything on. Yeah. So it was lovely to see everybody.
Good to see you too, Cosmic.
I just wanted to tell a funny story because I've been laughing about it, but I've got to tell the group.
Well, I'm glad you can laugh about it. I'm not sure I could.
I laugh about almost everything. So, all right. Love you guys. Bye. I'll still be listening while I get myself ready. So, all right. See ya.
See ya. Well, we may have lost Christy.
Yeah,
So,
I was wondering that. Yeah, I wrote down the board just for Christy, but I don't think she's a Bee Gees fan.
Well, you never know. I like their stuff. I like a lot. I like Jive Talking. That's a great song.
Oh, yeah.
Talking. I don't know what they say after that. Do a 15-minute.
Yeah, I can't remember. Do a 15-minute cover.
Cover mayonnaise treatment, cover with hairnet, or we used to wrap up plastic store bags first. Okay. Wrapped up plastic store bags first.
I'm glad this is nothing I need to do.
I know. That is one of the blessings of not having little ones, is not having to go through. That freaks me. That kind of thing freaks me out. I'm glad she can laugh about it because it freaks me out.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, I wish I had something interesting to say. But yeah, I just wanted to get on.
Well, I was gonna maybe have us do some box breathing and then kind of go through this smart recovery meditation. It's not as wonderful as Christy's meditations, but it's kind of cool. So maybe we could do 3 box breaths and then I'll just kind of read this meditation guide. Is that okay? Okay.
Oh, I thought you were you talking to me or?
Well, yeah, and all y'all that are here.
I'm good.
Okay. So yeah, we'll do 3 box breaths and then I'll kind of read this meditation after we've done our 3 box breaths. Box breathing is where you breathe in for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, and then exhale, letting all of the air out of your lungs. And of course, when you're inhaling, filling it up, your your diaphragm and your lungs up as much as possible, and breathing in the positive and breathing out the negative. All right. Let's see. So I'll start us off. Go ahead and close your eyes and shake off the day or the whatevers. And then we will get ready and breathing in. Go ahead and do that now. Breathe in. Hold. And exhale. Letting your shoulders drop as you're exhaling. And breathe in. Hold. And exhale. One more. Breathing in. Hold. And exhale. And with your eyes closed, we've taken the 3 deep breaths and noticing how it feels. Now let your breath settle into a normal rhythm. On the out breath, silently count 1. On the next out breath, count 2, and so on up to 10. When you get to 10, go back to 1. If you lose count, just start again at 1. The first time I read that, I was like, huh? But let your breath settle into normal rhythm and just breathing normally, I guess. On the out breath, silently count 1. On the next out breath, count 2, and so on up to 10. When you get to 10, go back to 1. If you lose count, just start again at 1. Feel the physical sensation of your breathing. Thoughts will enter your mind. Don't try to push them away or pretend they don't exist. Simply recognize their presence and don't engage them. If you find your mind wandering, gently turn your attention back to your breathing and counting. Don't judge yourself on your meditation abilities. Do this for the time you've decided in advance and try not to give up early. Set a timer so you don't have to check a clock. This exercise helps you learn to be in the moment and let an emotional upset subside without reacting in an unhelpful way. So that's what that's for. Meditation takes practice. At first, you may only be able to meditate for a few minutes, but the more you do it, the longer you will be able to do it. You'll meditate better some days than others. That's normal. It helps if you do it the same time and same place every day. All righty. So that's a meditation format. It says some people sit on pillows in the Buddhist lotus position with their hands resting on their knees, palms upward. Others sit in a comfortable chair. You may want to burn a candle or incense. Meditative music may help too. Experiment to find what works best for you. You can also practice being mindful wherever you are, noticing that you feel what you feel and think, the taste of your food, the presence of other. Just being aware of the world around and within you. Pay attention to the present, and those excessive emotions ruminating and troublesome thoughts may begin to trouble you less. I might get a book of meditations for moments such as this.
Sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was something that's always found interesting to dig into of all the things you can.
Yeah. I've never been able to, I'm so squirrel, that
Yes.
I've never been a good meditator, but I've always wanted to be. And I've had so many people recommend meditation, and so who knows, maybe if I just, get hold of enough material, I might eventually find something that works, and who knows, maybe others can benefit from it as well. Well, thank you for coming on, Ben. I love what you share. You always bring something that is from a different perspective, and it's
Well,
awesome.
yeah,
It's really
I just thought that maybe talking to Henny would, kind of, at least go over what seemed to work for me. But,
yeah.
Situations are different. So.
Yeah, but it does help us because a situation like that, you do feel so utterly alone.
Mhm.
And so to know that there are others who have had to go through that and feel
Sure.
that aloneness no longer have to feel that, because, I mean, I had a good mother, but I had a complicated relationship with my dad.
Hmm.
I believe, like you believe, that the level of control that he had to have at all
Oh,
times
sure.
tells me, and a bunch of other things that have come to my awareness through the years, tells me that he probably went through something similar.
Hmm.
And it made a lot of things make sense.
Sure.
And I don't know what my brother's excuse is, and he's no longer here to ask, as my dad isn't either. But
Sure.
so family's complicated.
It is, and it's one of the things that Tommy says often, that I always put, growing up in the situation I did, I always put more value on my friends, simply because you're born with your family. But you
Yeah.
get to choose your friends, and
Yeah.
yeah. So, and it's interesting though, it was the exact opposite with me. My mother was a no, definitely a covert narcissist, but a psychopath, and my father was anything but. And it's like,
Wow.
what got you to? I don't see how. But who knows?
Those are those things that nobody can explain, and they, just what it is that attracts people to each other.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
I was wondering about this the other day. Could two narcissists make it together in a relationship? Would they even be attracted to each other?
Yeah.
It doesn't usually work that way. Usually it's
Yeah.
the user and the abused.
Sure. Yeah, you'll have something like a dyad, where you have somebody who's a psychopath and somebody who has over the top emotions to help the psychopath
Yeah.
deal with things.
Yeah.
Yeah. That, and yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean that, and it doesn't cure anything, but it, just knowing or being able to turn on that. Honestly, even if it was sociopathic in nature or something learned, it was probably out of necessity. But just the number of people who's haven't you noticed that, no, small things, even no worry lines, the inability to know where they are in space, no self-awareness, showing improper emotions at time, unable to feel anybody else's pain.
Right.
Whenever they talk about kids, so what can my kids do for me? My kids make me feel special. My kids give me comfort. My kids do this. It's never, I do this for my kids, or I feel love for my kids. It's always backward projection like that. But
yeah, like the kid, like you had the kids so that you would, love me. You're here to love me.
Yeah, here, a little toy, almost. Yeah, it's just freaky.
It's sick.
And when you're young, you think that's normal. It's when you get older that you start,
because you don't know anything else.
Sure. Yeah, and I think as people get older, their personalities become a little more like putting salt on food that's already salty. It starts getting more and more pronounced.
Yeah.
Anywho, I wanted to thank you much for
thank you
letting
very
me crash your show.
I appreciate it. Good to see you, and it's good to see. I always like to see how people interact. And it's a lot different than in chat. And I so thank you.
Well, yeah, and that was one of the things I was trying to talk to poor Henny, and my fingers just do not want to work lately. I mean, my inflammation's sky high, which kind of, they just don't want to work right. But it's like, this would be easier to get on and just blurt this out, because you don't have to worry about typo so much.
I'm trying to get it across in chat. I can see that. Yeah. And it's good to talk. It's I feel like it's good to talk.
Sure. Well, I do hope you have yourself a most awesome day or evening. I guess it's evening.
You do too. Yeah.
It was really.
Are you in the U.S.?
Yeah, I'm in Arizona. Well, some people would consider that not part of the U.S., but it is actually technically.
So you're in mountain time. I'm
Right.
1 hour behind you.
Yeah, I'm in Tommy Land. In fact, I'm probably about 40 minutes away from Tommy Land.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, at some point I'm going to crash him, but yeah. Well, I do hope you have an awesome evening.
I hope you do too. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
You take care.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Bye.
Bye.
Oops, turn this off.
Mhm. You guys, thank you for being here. I love you all so much. Y'all are becoming an important part of my daily life, and I thank you so much. It's never, it's not what it's intended to be. It's not a meeting without you. I know that sounds cheesy to say. It sounds cliche, but it is the truth. And I hope you guys have a wonderful evening or beginning of your day, however that rolls out where you are. And until then, see you next meeting. And until then, peace, y'all.